So brand new generation Smart Fortwo electric drive. It's actually already the third generation.
Yes.
A brand new engine, brand new battery. The basic specs are performance goes up to 74 horsepower peak power now, which obviously improves performance from 0 to 60, is now 11.5 seconds. Top speed 78 miles per hour. When it comes to the battery, it's 17.6 kilowatt hours.
Okay.
Charging on a 240 volt charging station takes roughly 6 hours for a full charge. However, we think most customers will actually get home with still 10-20% of charging left on the battery, and then the charging process will actually just take about 4.5 hours to get from 20 to 100%.
How about if you're just using regular household current?
Obviously, a lot longer.
Yeah.
We recommend to have a charging station installed at your home. However, we do include we call it a travel charger with all the vehicles, so you can charge it on 110 volts. It would roughly be 14 hours for a full charge.
Who do you think will be your customer? Obviously, this is a city car. It's tiny, it's small, it's not a car that you're probably going to road trip in, so range isn't such an issue.
Yeah.
Who do you see your customer? We're here in San Francisco. Is it somebody young, somebody urban?
Absolutely. So an interesting statistic we digged out. Every day, approximately 100 million US Americans go to work or drive to work on their own, which, if you do the math, probably equivalents to about 300 million empty car seats every day. So we think the Smart is a perfect solution for the urban requirements, for the daily commute. Certainly not the long drives, 100 miles plus. But the electric drive has a range certified of 68 miles.
Okay. On a full charge.
On a full charge, we think in reality this could as well be in the 80 miles. The EPA tends to be a little conservative with their ratings.
What's your MPGE?
It's 107 combined,
okay.
122 in the city.
Okay, that's terrific.
It is,
yeah.
And one of the fun facts, the Smart Electric Drive is the only electric vehicle currently sold in the U.S. market that's available as a convertible. So we think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, we've got the top down.
Enjoy the sun, exactly.
And so it gives it that kind of fun factor.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, and it's something we really focus on. We say, if we are looking into how we differentiate ourselves from the competition, first of all, we think we have the most fun car to drive. We offer all the customization options in terms of colors and upholsteries that we have on the gasoline version, also available on the electric drive, including our Smart Brabus tailor-made program. So all in all, it's up to 7,000 combinations of interior colors and exterior paints. Also, the Smart Fortwo MSRP of the electric drive is $25,000 before tax incentives, which makes it the most affordable electric vehicle in the U.S. market. And we also have something we call Battery Assurance Plus. It basically gives the customer the option to purchase just the glider, which means the car without the battery, okay, and rent the battery from us. And the advantage is it's the expensive part, especially when you have to replace it at some point. It just gives our customers peace of mind. All the maintenance costs are included. Obviously, it's a warranty against manufacturer defects, but it's also, and that's something our competitors do not offer, it also covers any risk of capacity loss. So if the capacity of the battery falls below a certain threshold, 80%, we actually provide the customer with a brand new battery.
Now tell me, the battery pack, is it proprietary to Smart, or is it a Tesla battery pack? Because I know you have a partnership with Tesla. Tell me about that.
We do have a partnership with Tesla. So the battery for the previous generation actually came from Tesla. Okay. This one is provided by Deutsche Akkumotive. It's a joint venture between Daimler and Evonik. Okay. So not supplied by Tesla, even though we do have some know-how transfer with Tesla. This car is actually completely developed by Daimler.
Now, you had mentioned your competitors, and obviously in California, I would think it's the Fiat 500e. In the rest of the country, it's probably the Leaf. Are there any others that I'm missing?
A new one is the Chevy Spark,
yes.
Just being introduced.
Yep.
But yeah, you basically mentioned the most crucial ones.
And what makes this a better vehicle than those?
As mentioned, it's definitely more affordable.
Yep. 25,000.
25,000. Again, always important to mention that's even before tax incentives. So you can.
It varies by state.
It varies by state, but there is a $7,500 credit nationwide. It's a two-seater, which makes it the perfect solution for city driving. Interesting statistic that smart customers, in average, spend about 40% less time looking for a parking space. It doesn't come as a surprise.
Because you can park it like this car. You can just back it up into the space, which is pretty cool.
And again, emphasizing the fun factor of this vehicle with all the different color options, and just how zippy it is when you drive it. And last not least, the Battery Assurance Plus program that I just tried to explain, which really has a lot better battery coverage than any of the competitors can offer at this point.
Will there be a lease option? Obviously, that's the way that a lot of people are buying electric cars, is because they're not willing to jump into the deep end, right?
Yeah. So the previous generation was lease only. This car is now purchase and lease.
Okay.
Current lease price is $199 a month, but in the very near future, we probably have very good news. We might actually be able to reduce that even more to get even more customers into the car.
And will it be available across the country or just in California?
So for now, the Model Year 13 we have launched in California in all of the so-called ZEV states.
Yep.
And then as we approach Model Year 14 later this year, we will do a nationwide launch.
So eventually it'll be available. And is it available for sale here now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you can go to your smart dealership and buy
absolutely. It's been hitting the showrooms in May of this year.
Okay, and this is an easy question, but I always like to ask it. What's your favorite part of the car, personally? I mean, you probably drive it a lot.
I like the transmission, the single-speed transmission. So when you step on it, we call it smooth sailing, and no gear shifts. You have 96 pound-foot of torque available right from the start.
Which is a lot for a small car like this.
It's a lot. I mean, the car just weighs slightly above 2,000 pounds. So you can actually scare some big guys at the red traffic light. I like that.
And obviously, you've got all the airbags and the safety features, because I think people are going to be concerned about that being in such a small car.
It's something we hear a lot from customers being concerned with. How can a small vehicle like this really be safe? So what we do on many of the auto shows, we show the Tritium safety cell that obviously I can show inside here is basically something we compare to a rollover cage in a race car, made out of high-strength steel, wrapping around the passengers, protecting in case of a crash test. The NHTSA has tested the Smart Electric Drive last week for the US NCAP crash test. It's a little too early to announce the results, but we can promise that those results will actually reflect the actual safety level of the car.
Good.
Two more things. The coupe has 8 airbags standard. All the active safety systems that you're used to from Mercedes, ESP, ABS, obviously all in the car as well. And another interesting fact, because the wheelbase is so short, in case of a side impact, the other car would almost always hit one of the 2 wheels and axles, and those wheels and axles really help absorbing a lot of the crash energy. So it is a very safe vehicle. That's the quintessence. Rear engine, rear drive, and the battery is underneath us.
So it's a floor plan. So it's nice and low. You get a good center of gravity.
Exactly, low center of gravity, which helps a lot for the good handling of this car. It's also very well protected in case of an accident because it's hidden underneath the vehicle floor.
And is it pretty easy to swap out?
Reasonably easy. Not like on a Tesla where you can swap it out on to replace it during a gas stop, but it can definitely be exchanged. Exactly.
And does the car have regenerative braking as well?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So there's actually a nice gauge that we can maybe show later that shows you the amount of recuperation that currently the car uses. The engine serves as a generator, so as you lift off the throttle, you can already feel a little bit of the regeneration. And then as you hit the brake pedal, before the actual brakes of the car would be used, actually the recuperation is taken to an even higher level.
Great, thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.